Laurelyn from the Mama Pop Quilt Shop. Welcome to Weekend Project. Thank you very much for joining us. We're very happy to see you. We're working on a free project. It's actually called, I put it up on my big monitor there so I'd save printing, I'm really cheap. So it's called Amsterdam Quilt by Cloud9 Fabrics, and it's a free project sheet. It gives you a 38 by 52 size little wall hanging, throw quilt, lap quilt, whatever. And of course you can border it up as many ways you like or make extra flowers. So what we're pretty much doing is we're making tulips just like this, and you can use the same fabric, same color shades, do different shades, whatever tickles. I mean, I've just started with a couple because I think there's 4, 8, 12. There's 12 in the quilt, and of course you can make them as big as and small as you like, right? Okay, so I will give you all the measurements. I did find when I was putting the free pattern together by cutting their measurements, they were a little wrong. So I will give you what I have come up with to make the blocks, and hopefully it works out all in the end. So you do need to press. I'm going to say get your iron all nice and hot here. You do need that because to make these little tulips, you're going to have to do a few things. First is half square triangles for the leaves. So we're going to make the bottom part like this right here. So you just take a white and a green, 5 inches each, put them together, okay, just like this. Draw a little line diagonal right across from corner to corner, and you're going to sew on the 1/4 inch of each of those lines. Remember at, oops, I can't reach it from here. Pop, could you grab that? The tall 1/2 inch ruler? No, you can't. Sorry, I blocked him in there. Hold on. Long arm of the law here. I'll get it. Okay, so one of these, it's always chaos here, but we love it. So one of these right in the center. All right, so you can either mark the center and then just put your foot on a 1/4 inch of either side of that, or you can use one of these and mark it here, and then you know those are your stitch lines. Whatever makes it easiest for you, it's whatever tickles, okay? So you do that. So I'll show you how we're going to do that. Okay, well, anyways, you know what I may end up with, but this is the one we were going to do. So we'll start here by making our leaf. I did have my pin cushion there. There we go. Oh, lady specs. Need to put those on. I was inspired literally by the tulips blooming in my own garden. Like, they're starting to come up, the colors are starting to pop. It's beautiful. Tulips are one of my favorites. That and lilacs. I was trying to think of what's that word? Jeepers. Sometimes, you know, the brain just farts right on you. Hopefully that was okay to say that. Sometimes it does. Okay, so there's one. Let's see, like I see, we sewed them together. We had it just like that, and then we cut it right in half, and then we end up with 2 like this. So you want to actually kind of square these out a little bit. Okay, they come out at, I think it's 4 and a bit. I think I trimmed off about a 1/4 inch from 2 sides, and that seemed to make it fit a little bit better. But like I said, I'll give the proper measurements in the description of the video going on here. If you're interested, you can just click on that, or you can click to the link, and maybe you can make the pattern work for you. I clearly had to tweak it. Okay, so once you have your 2 of those, that's going to give you one side of your leaf combination right here, right? Because you're going to have that, and then you're going to have this going the other way, right? So there's your 1/2 of your leaf combination. So you need 2 of those. So here's your other one. Oops, that's for later, okay? And you want to do exactly the same thing as you did with the first one. You want to sew on either side of those lines. You can either use a chalk pencil, a pencil, one of these. It feeds just like a regular old member feed pencil. But it comes with colored chalks. I've got lots of whites and then a couple of different colors. And of course, if you're working on white, you want to pick a color. So I pick pink, and it'll just wash right out. And I'm actually using this line to cut on anyway, so it really doesn't matter. Nobody's going to see it. But it's completely up to you. Whether you can use a water-soluble pen or a heat erase pen, whatever. I thought this was really cute because it had really big tulips. And I thought, well, how can I put the tulips like in a garden pot or something like that? So it looks like they were blooming up out of the. I thought, you know what? Just stick with the original plan. Not everything has to be tweaked by Laura Lynn. Because sometimes, you know, I just feel like it needs a little Laura Lynn finesse and a je ne sais quoi, right? Is that the right word? Probably not. Okay, there we go. So, and then you want to press those. Okay, so those are your leafies. You want to come over here. You want to press. I was going to pressing from the white to the dark, so all the green was going over onto the dark side, because you really don't want to see that when you've got your block flipped over. You don't really want to see that little dark edge you would see on that white, right? Some people split it open. You know, whatever makes you more comfortable in your stitch process. You know, there's no rhyme or reason or no right or wrong. It's whatever makes you comfortable. You know, some people sew with a fat 1/4 inch. Some people sew with a slim 1/4 inch. It's up to you. Okay, so now we have those 4 all pieced out. You're going to square them up, okay? And like I said, I made them about 4 1/4. You know, see right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and just a smidge. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then just another little smidge. So it's about 4 1/4 for each one. So just trim them up. It's just a little bit. It's more like little annoying pieces that come off. So give them to the birds. They'll love it. They'll make nests out of it. So then you're going to take, just like you're following your little diagram, okay? You're going to take your 2 pieces like that. And then your 2 pieces like this. And then you're going to sew them together. And then you're going to put a stem, whichever kind of stem color you decide what in between those leaves, you're going to sew them together, okay? So this and this is going to flip. Of course, you can lop off the big ear, tail, or whatever they call those things. It's completely up to you. I find them more annoying than anything else. Stuff for the birds' nests, okay? And then just a 1/4 inch. Do the same on this side. Flip. And when you're trimming, you can lop those off, but just because I was only trimming the one side to make sure I have my nice still 45-degree angle. Oops. There we go. Now we got our leaves done. Okay, there we go. See how that's going to go? I'm now putting it towards you so you can see it, how it's going to look like that. And then we end up putting our little flower top on top. So easy peasy, just kind of like that one I already made, right? So, but we'll put that to the side. I'll finish this off. So like I said, you're going to need a little bit of trimming because I've cut the pieces pretty much to what they've said. And then allowed for a little bit of movement just in case. So a little bit of playability. Okay, and this is only 3/4 of an inch for this little piece here. I think they have it as 1 inch in on the pattern, but I found 3/4 of an inch worked better. Now you can either press this or wait. It's completely up to you. I think I'll press it all at the same time. So then make sure when you're lining these 2 up again, that you're lining so the stems or the little leaves are going up and up like this, not like, you know, you're not well, I guess it wouldn't matter, but you know what I mean? Don't be going on the other side or something, right? So, didn't realize when you flipped it, it was still going to look the same. Silly me. All right. Like I say, you can pin this if you like. It's completely up to you. I like looking to see how the seam allowance is on that tiny little stem piece, so I think I'll start there. Hopefully you guys have been able to get out into the garden. We've had such cruddy weather every weekend. We've started building some garden boxes, but haven't been able to finish them because of the rain or the cold. Sorry. In fact, I was just saying to Pop the other day, we need to build some sort of an outdoor enclosure so we can get some work done, even when it's chilly and raining. Okay, so there's your stem. You want to just kind of square it all up a bit. Give it a press. Okay, don't ever forget to press. I know sometimes I skip it, but just because I feel it's a, you know, speedy speedier just to do it so you can, the basics of what to do. So just that you don't always have to always press. Okay, so there's our stems, which is made. Now we're gonna make a flower, okay? So let's choose this one so it's nice and bright so you can see it. Okay, so here we have the bottom of the flower. Is this right here, okay? Is this right here? And we take a 2-inch square and we put it in the corner, okay? And then you could either put a pin in there to hold it, it's completely up to you, and you're gonna sew along that line. Okay, and you put the other one in the opposite corner, making sure that you're taking up the little end bits, okay? That those are the ones that are going to be, this white part's going to be folded down, and these little end bits are going to be lopped off, okay? And now, in these ones here, these are 5-inch squares, okay? And then you're going to take these 2.5-inch ones and put one in one corner like this, okay? And the other one in the opposite corner, because you're going to make sure those two go together, because those are going to make the top of your little tulip here, okay? Super peasy. This is really cute. I just thought it was easy and cute and a good scrap buster. I've just pulled from my scraps and very nicely donated fabrics from my friend down in the States. Love the fabrics, using them all the time. Okay, so now you want to sew along there. And here I saw this little point the other day that was I found very helpful, because I seem to have a phobia against mini quilts, okay? So, and it was in a project very similar to this, is how when you sew them on that seam allowance, you're going to end up tossing these little bits to the side. And it ends up being quite a bit when you think about it. So why not actually stitch a 1/4 inch from that line down again, and you have yourself a tiny little half square triangle. So off of the ones that are 2.5, you end up with a 2-inch half-inch triangle, and the one when you're lopping off the little 2-inch on the bottom gives you a 1.5 little half-inch triangle. Don't know if I'm going to go farther than those 4, but we may try. Just saying, if you want to use everything that you can, and when you're going to lop off those little triangles, they're just going to go in the garbage bin or something that never get used, maybe do another extra seam, and you got yourself a little half square triangle. Just a point. Never know. May do it, may not. We'll see. I'm a rebel. I just thought it was an interesting point. You may not use it right in this project, but you'll use it in your scrap quilt, right? The mini scrap quilt. Okay? So you just sew there, and then when this comes up, and then like I said, here's the time if you want, you can either lop that off or do another seam allowance, okay? Just might make me a mini quilt yet. Well, when I thought of it that way, I'm like, okay, that's easy. Then trying to put those little tiny squares together and sew them, I'm like, it's crazy. Some would say short trip for me, but it's crazy town. That's okay. All right, so we're gonna lop them off. Just so within a 1/4 inch, you're gonna press anyways, right? Okay, so we'll do those two, and then we'll sew these two, and then we'll press them, okay? And then we'll make the top of our tulip. And we're just gonna make some more, and some more, and some more. And you can stay with a consistent theme color. You can go with just pink or green. You can go with, orange and burgundy. You can do whatever. Okay, so we want to take these 2 pieces, and these 2 pieces, like I said, you could have sewed your 1/4 inch seam allowance again, and save that little triangle instead of going to the little recycle pile. Or I call it kindergarten donation bag. There we go. Because they like all that stuff. They like it a lot. All right, and it's going to press to the darkest, because we're dealing with white. I mean, if you're probably dealing with 2 medium shade colors, I think that would be okay. You could probably just split them and be okay. But I think we're gonna press to the dark. All right, now we take, so here's the bottom of our flower, just like this, okay? So lay that there, and now these 2 need to come together, okay? Just like that, because that forms the little up parts of the tulip. So you take those 2, you sew them together, And then we sewed the top to the bottom of the flower. Okay. And we take this, and we can give it a little press. I found that this part really didn't seem to matter if I pressed it or not. But the other ones, you do want to kind of give yourself a nice good seam. Now you want to take the solid flat line of the bottom of the tulip, the petals, and then the bottom of the petal here, like those two solid ones there, to give that form or the shape of the flower, okay? You don't want it upside down or anything. It's the two long lines of your fabric. Okay, and these are cut at 5.5 by 4.5, the long ones. Okay, and then see, isn't that cute? Give that a little press. Go the other way. And here it wouldn't matter either, I think, if you just split the seam or what have you. Okay. There we go. So there's a little top of flower. There was that one, and we got this one. And I'm going to make a bunch of other ones here. I've got colors set up already. So then what you do is you take those two pieces, okay? We'll plop those over there, and you sew them together just like that, okay? So you take your top and your bottom, and like I said, you can pin it. To me, this is a small enough project. I don't think you really need to pin, okay? But I mean, if you were matching up seam allowance or seams and stuff like that, you would pretty much want to, I think. Okay, and then we take this. And we press it. I'm sliding off my chair here. It's sliding. Trying not to squish my microphone. Okay, and then there's our little tulip. And then we take a little bit of sashing down the side. You can choose a different color, what have you, and then you just sew that on whichever the left-hand side, I believe. Yes. Hold on. The right-hand side. Sorry, the right-hand side of it. So we just put it on like that. And then we sew them together. Okay. Like I said, free pattern. I love free patterns. I like learning something new. I've never done a tulip before. And like I said, you're going to have to do some trimming. Just a little bit to squares it up. Okay. And then it ends up looking like that. Okay? Super cute. And then you put those together. Okay? And you put them, there we go. Isn't that super cute? And we'll put that down there. I guess we could probably give them that press. And then you got other little tulips coming here, blooming up out of the garden. Very exciting. Very exciting. All right, so take a look at this Long Arm Wednesday. I had to figure out where I was here. I'm sorry, which show I was on. Long Arm Wednesday, and there'll be a full picture of it at the end of the Long Arm Wednesday video of it all, at least the flimsy top done, okay? And then ready for the Long Arm Wednesday for the week after that, it'll be all quilted up. That's what I was trying to get sorted out in my head. Wasn't working well. So thanks very much for watching and subscribing and hanging out with me on this Saturday, this weekend, and hopefully it's nice weather for you. So get out there and enjoy, okay? Take care, everybody. See ya. Bye-bye. Amsterdam Quilt.